Hello, hello. I am Alessandra Caprice, and I am a mindset coach and a business strategist. And today we are going to talk about how to get more clients fast. And we're going to dive into the 3 ways that you're holding your back. These are 3 things that if you are not clear on them and so wholeheartedly on board and aligned with these 3 things, then you're not going to get clients, right? You're holding yourself back from that consistency in your business. Now we're going to get to that at the end, but consistency is always one of the most important things in business. You could be consistent for 1 week and be talking to clients and everything, and then the next week not, then you won't be. You might get clients here and there, but we're here to create consistent clients in your business. So this video, this is all about clarity. The 3 things that you need to be clear on in order to create the consistent clients that you crave in your business. And like I said, these are 3 things that if you're not clear on them, if you're not on board, if you are not embracing them, then you are holding yourself back from the success that you desire in your business. So why am I talking about this? I am talking about this because I have experienced it, and I see this continually with my clients. And this is about fear. This is the fear of things working and fear of failure. So here's a quick little story about where I'm coming from in this. So when I first started, many of you guys know, I was a psychotherapist before. I had my own private practice. I was fully booked. I became fully booked within a few months of going full time in my private practice. Then I wanted more freedom and travel freedom and space freedom and time freedom. And so I moved online shortly after as a life coach. And so this story is dating back to when I was full-time life coach, and I created this awesome course. It's called Deserve to Thrive. If anyone needs a really awesome life coaching course on how to, move from surviving to thriving, it's this course. But even then, as I talk about it, I don't even have tons of clarity on it because of this reason. So I created this course. I got all these awesome contributors to come help me out with this course. I was so excited about it. It was something I had wanted to create for months and months into my business, and just knew that it was what I wanted to do. I felt super aligned with it. I loved talking about it. The people who had ended up buying the course were getting awesome results. Were really loving it. Already in module 1, module 2, they were just absolutely loving it. But what happened was, and it's funny because I found old journals the other day, and one of them was from that launch period of when I launched Deserve to Thrive. And it shined some really bright light on why it was hard for me to gain the traction that I desired and so desired in my business from day one. Now, I created a marketing plan when I started as a life coach. I used Pinterest, and I got clients pretty fast. I won't say they were always the right clients. I won't say they were always the clients that I really wanted to work with, but I got clients, and I grew an audience on autopilot with Pinterest. It was awesome. Guys, I made a course about it. If you want to know more about Pinterest, ask me about it. But I created this course, and this was the course, I'm like, this course is going to pay off my student loans just by this course alone. And this course is going to make me over $100,000. That's not my student loans, but I'm like, this course is so good. And I look back at these journals, and this course was my goal launch was $20,000 from this course. And I remember being so sure about that. Oh, I'm going to make $20,000 in this launch. I'm going to sell. I don't even know how many that was, because I think it was $400 at the time. So that's 50. I had a list of maybe 2,000 at the time. So I'm like, heck yeah, those numbers are good, right? And I launched it, and I made about $3,500. Guys, first of all, heck yes for my first launch ever, right? That was my first course launch ever, and I made $3,500. That's freaking amazing. That's not what I felt then. I felt like a failure. I felt like I was doing the wrong thing. I felt like, all the thoughts that came in my mind about, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I should be doing, launching this. I should be creating this. After that, I created like 5 other programs, like mini programs, and spent all this time. And all of them, I will tell you right now, all of them were like mediocrely, I don't even know if that's a word, successful. Like I made sales on everything that I ever launched, but like 10 or 12 were mediocre launches. They weren't like full on, hitting my goals every time, right? They were mediocre. And so what did I do? I jumped to the next thing. And this was because I had fear. I had fear that what I had wasn't good enough. I had fear that what I had I was going to continue to fail if I didn't find the right thing. I had fear that I was not enough. I had fear that I wasn't good enough. I had fear that I couldn't do it. All these fears. And I know so many of my listeners and watchers and clients feel this a lot. And so I'm telling you this as a cautionary tale, right? I'm telling this and connecting with you on this because I don't want you to experience this. I mean, you're going to experience those thoughts. I can't take those away from you. You're going to experience those, but I don't want you to experience the repercussions of those thoughts, because when you have those thoughts, you begin to act based on fear. And acting based on fear is, okay, I have to think of something else. Oh my gosh, this didn't work. I'm not good enough. I have to go do something else, or I should totally change. Like after a few months, no, not even a few months, probably 6 to 8 months afterwards, I made the switch from life coaching to business coaching, combining mindset with business coaching, right? Honestly, that was because of, many clients that I was working with. I just loved working with the ones that were starting businesses, etc. So it was really a passion thing. But at the time, I was so excited. Even now, I go look at this course, and because someone bought it the other day and I wasn't marketing it because it's just on my site, and someone buys it every once in a while, right? Like I don't have any funnels for it. And there's a reason why I don't have any of that, is because of this reason, because I jumped from other things. I did not perfect it. Someone bought it. And so I was looking at it again. I was like, it like reconnected me to it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this course is so amazing. Like it's so good. And so what happened is when I jumped to a new offer, I didn't make that offer successful, right? Like if I had the clarity on these 3 things that I'm going to talk about today, and I did not act on fear, I believed wholeheartedly that I could make this work and it could be successful, I would have made $100,000 with that course, right? I would have. I believe it so hard because that's how good it was, And because I was acting on fear, that course just sits there and occasionally makes a sale here and there. And right now I don't even have the mind space to like create the funnels and create the webinars and the boot camps and all that kind of stuff, right? Like I don't have the space for that because I've got this other project that I now have the clarity on in this phase of my life that is going to be that for me, right? And so I tell you this, and I'm going to kind of keep connecting to it as I go. But when you have the clarity on these 3 things, because at the time I had these 3 things that I was clear on. When you are clear on these 3 things, I don't want you ever to give up until what you are offering is successful. So if you create some awesome course, if you create some awesome mastermind or a one-on-one coaching program or a group coaching program or whatever, and you are feeling so excited about it, and you're like, this is it. This is what I love to do. This is what I want to talk about all the time. If you create that, and I'm going to show you how to create that today, I don't want you ever giving up if you don't hit your mark each time you launch it, right? Like I said, I didn't make $20,000 with my first launch. I made $3,500, and that wasn't good enough in my eyes, right? I don't want you to suffer from that. And if you need help with that, you work with me, right? Because I can help with that mindset. I didn't have a mindset coach at the time. I got one soon after, but I didn't have one at the time to help me see that how awesome my offer was, and to keep going because I believed so hard in it, to keep going until it was successful. Because look, I got buyers, like people bought it and people loved it. So I had some great validation. But I was fearful. And I acted on that fear. Okay. So that's my tale, my story. And that's exactly where this points are coming from that place of, I don't want you to ever give up on something that has these 3 pieces of clarity. Because if you don't, if you don't have this clarity, you are holding yourself back from those consistent clients or consistent income, right? In my case, it was, clients, course takers, students, whatever. So there's a bug flying around me. If you're not acting on these 3 pieces of clarity, you are holding yourself back from the consistency that you want in your business. Okay, so number 1, the clarity of, I guess this is clarity of niche, but I didn't write that down in my notes as I was like writing the blog post that accompanies this. I was like, I guess this is talking about your niche. But in my mind, it was clarity of what you love talking about every single day. And focusing on that only, not jumping to what other people are talking about, or what this life coach over here is talking about self-care. And I'm talking about this, but she seems really successful. So I'm going to start talking about that because I want success, right? You have to have the utmost passion for the message that you are speaking. You have to have your whole body, mind, and soul and heart behind what you are speaking. Because if you have that clarity, like I said, you will be successful. You will hit your goals. You will create consistent clients in your business when you are absolutely passionate about what you're talking about, and you speak from that passion. And the only way you can be speaking that way and spreading your message with that kind of passion is to get clarity on what that is, right? So this is something that we talk about on day 1 in the Booked Out Business Bootcamp. I help you hone in on your special sauce, which is so cool. I just love kind of referring to it as a special sauce because it's like, hey, I got a special sauce. That sounds pretty awesome. But, not trying to be what everyone else is. You are you, and you are the only you out there. Okay? Like, I really want that to sink in because so many coaches out there, I hear it. I even heard a popular coach say this the other day, that the market is saturated. Yeah, the market's saturated. I just was like, whoa, what? Because I just don't believe that. I believe that there are a lot of awesome coaches out there. Do I believe that it's saturated with coaches? Heck freaking no. Because there is room for everyone. There are billions of people on this planet, and all of them need some help somehow. All of us need help somehow. And your mission is to find the ones who need help from you. Not this coach over here, not this coach over here, but people that need help from you. And the only way you can attract those clients is if you are speaking wholeheartedly from your heart and soul, not trying to be anyone else, just trying to be yourself, just being yourself, right? And speaking your message. And it comes with clarity of what that is, clarity of what you just love talking about. This is the one question that I ask my clients when they're struggling with trying to figure out what their message is, what their niche is. I say, well, what could you talk about every single day? If I challenged you to go live every single day, what topic would you talk about? If someone was like, hey, you're going to talk in front of 1 million people today, what would you talk about? That's it. That's the thing that you would talk about. And that's your niche, your spot, your special sauce, right? I'm going to give you a worksheet for this in the Booked Out Business Bootcamp. I will be dropping the link for that below when this is over because I just want to focus on you guys. So that's the first piece of clarity on what you love talking about. niche, if you want to call it, but what your passion is, what you want, the message you want to bring to the world. That's the first thing that you need to be clear on. And if you're not connected with that, like I said, you're holding yourself back from the clients. If you're trying to say everything and anything to people, you're speaking to no one, right? Like everyone says, when you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to nobody. That's it, right? Like if you're trying to speak a message that blankets on everybody, you're not speaking to your ideal clients and you're not going to magnetize them. The only way to magnetize them is by speaking your message from your heart to their heart. All right, number 2, clarity on your offer. So like my example, I was so clear that I wanted to make this course. Guys, I wanted to make this course. I'm trying to think of when I launched it, because I started my business in November, but I'm pretty sure when I started my business, I had already thought about doing this course. And so I finally did it. And like I said, I sold spots in it. I was making it. I mean, that's amazing. And it's something that I was so clear on that I wanted. And I acted on fear and I let go of it, right? So there's kind of like 2 main messages of this. It's the things that you need to be clear on, and then the mindset piece of once you're clear on these, do not let go of them and freaking go out there and never give up. That's the underlying message of everything, right? Okay, so you've got to be clear on your offer. During our Booked Out Business Bootcamp, we will create your booked out offer. All right, we will create that. Like I said, you get a worksheet that's going to walk you through exactly how to do that. You're going to get some training on that. But you've got to connect to what you want to offer and it feel really good. So my trajectory of business was one-on-one coaching. Then I created a couple little courses. They weren't like the one-on-one coaching. They were like niched courses, like my Pinterest course and things like that. I created the visibility course and everything. But so then I went one-on-one coaching and then I went group coaching, right? And once I hit group coaching, I was like, this is it. This is my space, right? I loved one-on-one coaching. I really did. But the thing is, the way I run my groups and the way I run Emerge and the way I run, Visible Impact Society, the way I run it is you just get so much one-on-one time with me. So it really is the best of both worlds, right? Even in Emerge where, we don't have, well, I guess we do. We have the Zoom coaching calls. We just don't have the elongated group coaching calls like we did in the group program, Visible Impact Society. But, once I found that and felt so like this is where I'm meant to be, like the Deserve to Thrive course. I love creating. As you guys know how much I love creating courses. I knew that I was going to make that successful no matter what. And I've had 2 successful launches of the Visible Impact Society, right? Now, this year, I'm not going to run it for various reasons. That's why I've created Emerge. But that clarity of my offer and that mindset, coupled with the mindset piece of I'm going to make this successful no matter freaking what, allowed me to be successful and allowed me to hit goals and to create consistent clients in my business, right? And so you've got to be clear on what you want to offer, whether that's one-on-one coaching. Okay, what do you want your one-on-one coaching to look like? Whether that's a group program, what do you want that to look like? If it's a course, what do you want that to look like? Like there are programs and services that look like anything and everything. There are no rules in this space. And it's amazing because then that means there's something for everyone. So you've got to get clear on your offer. So once again, come join the Booked Out Business Bootcamp. We are going to be talking about your booked out offer. I think that's on day 2. Yep, day 2. We will be talking about your booked out offer. Once again, that's the Booked Out Business Bootcamp. I will be dropping the link below, and you can sign up for that, and we will get started next week. Okay, so once again, we're going to talk about the 3 things that you need to be clear on. The first one was, being super clear on what you love to talk about, your niche, like what you're doing. Number 2 is the clarity of your offer. And number 3, clarity on who you are talking to. So this goes hand in hand with what you're talking about and what you're offering. You've got to know who you're offering it to. And I want to really connect to the people that you love working with. I like to pick even though I work with mostly coaches, I also like to think about I don't even want to use the word flavor, the personality, the personalities that I like to work with. Because I've worked with tons of different types of business owners. I've worked with, product-based businesses. I've worked with coaches. I've worked with service providers. I've worked with course creators. But ultimately, my ideal clients, no matter what their business is, although I focus mostly on coaches now because I just loved that. But I also spoke to a certain personality, a certain person that I desired to work with. And so really creating that idea. So I don't believe that you have to have is this person like coffee or tea, or does this person like beach or mountains or whatever? You don't have to. If you want to go there, sure. Heck yeah. That's awesome. I am not, I wear t-shirts and, my branding pictures of me in normal clothes. I'm not wearing super nice dresses and out in the city, right? Because I don't live in the city and that's just not my brand. And so I magnetize usually people that are like that, right? So I don't even have to say, oh, I like people that are more don't wear a lot of makeup, or, they have kids running around in the background, or a really big dog, right? But I can still talk to the flavor of the person, the personality, the characteristics of the person. I think those are the most important things. Once again, you will get a worksheet for this in the Booked Out Business Bootcamp, and join below when I drop the link. But when you connect to this person, first off, when you're connecting what you love to talk about, when you're connecting to your message, when you're doing that soul work to really figure out what you want to talk about, when you're creating your offer, and now when you're creating this person in your mind, the person that you want to speak to, when you speak, when you get visible, when you spread your message, you are going to magnetize them to you, because they're going to think, you're in my head. You totally get me. You understand, right? And that's what you want. That's where consistent clients come from. But if you're sitting there thinking, oh, this person can be kind of this way, or maybe they've started, maybe they haven't, maybe they're a coach, maybe they're a service provider, or maybe they're this way, or maybe they're maybe they have kids, maybe they don't, all that indecisiveness is just when you put that out there, even when you're not saying that in your copy, but it's the energy behind it is coming out. So I really want to encourage you to be getting clear on your ideal client, who you want to work with. Okay, so those were the 3 things that if you're not clear on them, you're holding yourself back. We didn't even touch on, we did touch on it, but we should have made that a bigger deal. The mindset stuff about once you're clear on things, freaking go wholeheartedly and don't ever give up until it's successful, or successful in your mind, right? What's your view of success? Make it successful. But then the last thing too that I really want to convey on you, because this is about how to get clients fast, it's consistency. You have to be consistent. If you're clear on these 3 things, but you're not putting yourself out there and getting visible, and you're not having that consistency, you're not going to get consistent clients. You're not going to get the clients, and you're not going to get the growth that you desire. So you have to be consistent. Now, during the Booked Out Bootcamp, we are going to create your marketing plan. I want to make it as simple as possible for you so that you can be consistent, because that is something that a lot of things that I've struggled with, and a lot of my clients struggle with as well. Getting these awesome ideas and then not allowing themselves to be consistent, because obviously a lot of mindset stuff comes up. Mindset stuff is what stops us from being consistent and actually getting those clients. So that is the underlying awesome thing that we always need to be talking about. And that's what I do in the Emerge program. We have mindset calls every single month that are just about mindset issues. Obviously, we talk about it every week during our Q&A calls as well. But mindset is something that, mindset and consistency and believing in ourselves and making sure that we are sticking to these things that we're clear on. First off, getting clear on them. Second off, taking action on them. And third off, never giving up until it is successful. That is what we work on in Emerge. So please, I would love you to join us in the Booked Out Business Bootcamp. That is starting next week. If you're watching this after that, you will be able to join the wait list for the next one. But I'm so hope this was super helpful for you. I just want clients for you. I know that you're watching this. If you're still watching this, like, you are just so ready for more clients in your business. And I want that so hard for you. So come join us in the Booked Out Business Bootcamp. And I will see you there. Bye.